Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all new episode of the Indic Explorer Show. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We need all your support. And today's show is a very special show. It's a very unique show because we are going to talk about a very less known aspect about Hinduism. Uh, and we are going to talk about it through a great ambassador of the concept of seva, the Akshaypatra Foundation, which does great service across different states in India in feeding people who are hungry, and it's a great, noble, and charitable effort. And for that, I have with me a very special guest today, the national president and the trustee of the Akshay Patra Foundation, Shri Bharat Dasa ji. Namaste and welcome to the show, the Indic Explorer Show.
Thank you, Vineet. Hare Krishna. Very happy to be with you to discuss about, like you said, the new angle, a lesser known angle of the seva aspect of the Hindu and the Sanatan Dharma. That is, we all know as Sanatan Dharma, which we are all practicing, which we feel very close to at our hearts.
So, also full disclosure, since I myself am a Vaishnava from a Ramanuja Sampradaya, and I told you, I mean, it's the first time, like, someone from the Vaishnava tradition has been on the show, so it's a very special feeling for me. Uh, yeah, Jai Shri Krishna and Om Namo Narayana.
Hare Krishna. Great.
So,
Yes, same here.
so, I want to first talk about your personal story as to how did when this whole mission of the Akshay Patra Foundation was started, and how did you your association start with it? What was the thinking behind, what was your personal journey in terms of wanting to be part of this effort?
So see, Akshay Patra is in. I think that little bit. I'll go a little more backward than me alone. I'll just go why Akshay Patra was founded. Then I'll come to your specific question of me, how I got involved. First, you see, Akshay Patra was founded based on the principle, on the inspiration of ISKCON's founder, Srila Prabhupada, the Hare Krishna movement's founder, worldwide Hare Krishna movement's founder. He had a vision that there should be no hunger and malnutrition, so specifically for children. This dates back to a history story in 1970s. It started with in a small hamlet which is about 5 hours journey from Kolkata. It's called Mayapur. This is the place of birth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Prabhupada, our founder and guru of Hare Krishna movement. He had just then built a small temple. It is in 70s with all his American disciples, and many of them were there. And the temple was inaugurated, and he was all of there was a big feast served as celebrating the occasion, and the deities of Radha Madhava were installed, and worship was just started in a formal way. Pranapatishtha was done, and he was sitting in his small room just outside, and then all his disciples were there and discussing some Krishna and so many philosophies and all that. At that time, he heard a big shout from the window, and he heard some children shouting, dogs barking, all these were going on. And then he just went to the window and he saw. And when he saw what he saw, tears came from his eyes. He was seeing children. Okay, children are fighting for those. You see, we throw out the leaves, banana leaves, after we eat that. They are fighting with dogs to take out the remnants of what is already left. So he said, this is not correct. See, we have built a nice temple for Krishna here in Mayapur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. It's a very special place. And in such a place like this, it's Krishna has been installed. And father, see, when the father is there, can a child go hungry? So he cannot, right? So Krishna is our father. So this is a situation that we are having, that we have a temple here and these children are hungry and they are fighting. Imagine how much hungry they must be to feel that, they're fighting for leftover food, that too. So then Prabhupada gave a mandate. He said, you all ISKCON leaders should ensure, I'm giving you a mandate that no one within 10 kilometers radius of our temple will should go hungry, especially children. He said as a mandate to ISKCON. So this was always in ISKCON's vision. ISKCON leaders implemented various kinds of programs. So for this feeding, and not just like you said, not just in the temple, we wanted to expand it further. It's been going on for many years, and I'm fast forwarding now to 1998, 99. Okay, so just then we had built a nice temple of is in Bangalore in Rajajinagar. Our president Sri Madhu Pandit Dasa, who incidentally happens to be the chairman of Akshaya Patra Foundation also, and our vice chairman Chanchalapati Dasa, who is the also the vice president of senior vice president now of ISKCON Bangalore. So we are all thinking as a team is in ISKCON Bangalore. We were thinking why, what do we do for this Prabhupada's desire? Prabhupada had this desire. How do we implement? In fact, we were thinking that time that why don't we do what we call feeding in all the hospitals? Set up some a small bakery here, take it to the hospitals, feed there. That was what one of the ideas that came. Many ideas came, in that time. How to spread this feeding, how to ensure poor are fed from the temple. So that was the start. So then one of the well-wishers of his ISKCON, he said, see, instead of doing it in various places, you should do it in government schools. That is where automatically children from the economically weaker section, they come. And for them, many of them will be there. So from a very poor background, a meal will matter a lot to them. And it will also be Annadana and Vidyadhan. So that was the idea that came. And then we felt this is the right thing. We felt this inspiration from the Lord. He is inspiring that you should. We were thinking how to do it, and then we should move forward like this. So then Madhu Panditdasa thought of how to do this as a plan, and you will be surprised to know Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi, the then MHRD, that was called Ministry of Education. In those days, it was called Ministry of Human Resource. He said, "Why don't you call this program Akshaya Patra?" So that's how the Akshaya Patra seed was. The seed was from there, and it was planted in Bangalore first with 5 schools. We started nearby the temple in Bangalore, and we started feeding 1,500 students. We set up a simple kitchen, and this one more thing you should note: there was no program of a midday meal organized in those days of the government. There's no such program at all. They would generally give dry ration to the parents, and there's no cooked meal as such. So that way, in one sense, we had pioneers to that. And see, I'm just feeling proud, not for the sake we. I'm saying proud of the, like you said, that this giving culture. Not me. See, that's the first thing in our Sanatan Dharma. Hankar should be given up, right? That is the first thing that comes in our Sanatan Dharma. That I am not. That I'm a servant. That should be the fundamental life, our mantra of our life. That is the thing of Sanatana Dharma. That was a seed. In one sense, a big program. It has become a midday meal program. Government has taken it up in a very big scale, and almost about 11 crore children are fed every day, pan India, through this program. So, in one sense, we are happy to be, like a small in that we are a small contributor. The seed somewhere started from here. I'm very happy to share that with you in that, in this context. Not in the sense of pride, but in the sense of, feeling blessed, I'm saying. So that's how this program started. And we started with 5 schools. We never had a plan that we'll grow this big. We just thought, we should feed near the temple, whatever schools are there. And then in just about 3 months, we got lots of requests that nearby government schools were said. Everybody thought sometimes many people come and feed for some time and go away. So, but we felt once we start, we should not stop. So we started that feeding with some of our devotees approached some donors to get some funds. One donor gave a vehicle to sponsor. We cooked in the temple and delivered to the schools. So many of the children were seeing that these other schools are getting, nearby schools are getting. They all started asking us, why don't you give us in our school? Why don't you give here? Like that request came. And when we saw in just in 3 months, the requests had become so big. And when we opened that and saw our Madhu Pandita saw, it was, like Madhu Pandita felt, what is this? Then he looked up, the request was for 1.5 lakh children. So we were like surprised. You see, Bangalore even those days was like a dot-com city, right? And had this IT city, and then we realized there is this urban poor, right, who need this meal. Means that this matters a lot. Uh, so that was when we realized the scale of hunger and malnutrition, how it is impacting the society, how this is very important solution we'll be giving to this problem, stemming out of a simple desire that no hunger should be there. So then, and we felt this is what we should do, and we scaled the program. So with Mother Puran Prabhu decided, okay, that I will somehow, Krishna is there, he will take care. Now we are not doing it, Krishna Lord himself is doing it. So we will take up this, and we set up a kitchen for 40,000 children. And formally Akshaya Patra was formed, and in November of 2000, we established Akshaya Patra Foundation and started feeding for about 40,000 children. And a formal inauguration of the first kitchen was done shortly thereafter by the Murli Manohar Joshi ji, and he was also there. Honorable CM of Karnataka, then he was also present. Mr. S. M. Krishna was present, and that's how the program started. So this just to give the background of the of how Akshay Patra came and where we are and moving forward. We'll discuss more as it goes on. Now coming to my personal point, I was always inspired in my own life. When I was doing my studies in National College here in Bangalore, I was doing my pre-university studies here. I was a science student of science, so I always had this question among our friends that what is this goal of life? What is this? Why am I doing? What is this? Ultimately, we are born, we have a family, we die. Is this all in life? There must be something higher. So in that discussions, one of the friends said, if you want answers to this question, you should go to ISKCON. This is 1990 I'm speaking of. So then I felt, okay, somewhere this quest was there. We and my friends went and met the current vice chairman, Chanchalapati Dasaji, and we had a long discussion for about 2 3 hours on these questions, and I was very impressed. I was a born atheist, okay. I was like of course my family was a Jain family, but I was atheist by thought, because that's what happens when our current education system is like that, makes you an atheist, automatic by default an atheist. Uh, so I was like that, but when I met him first time, my entire life changed. And then I said, I should. Then I started practicing some of the principles, and I started reading the Bhagavad Gita. I started reading many more of these books, and I specifically read the biography of Srila Prabhupada, our Hare Krishna movement, our guru and founder of our Hare Krishna movement. Then I felt, I should give my life to him. So seeing his life, I felt. So that's how in '92 I joined while I was studying in BTech from REC Calicut in computer science. I was doing my BTech. So that's how I was inspired, and then I felt I should dedicate my life. So then I joined. So I've been doing various services, and in my involvement in Akshay Patra started little later only. I was mostly doing other services of ISKCON, and as you know, all other many other programs are there of ISKCON. So which are there. So I was doing translation of books initially like that. Then in 2008, specifically, I started getting into public relations of the temple and Akshay Patra, and that's how I got involved first in Akshay Patra. Largely, I was involved in talking to government officials, to people, getting their participation in this. And I was inspired. Basically, you see, like I said, inspiration is our guru founder's wish. Next, of course, it is for us. It's as good as worship. Any work we do, it's not routine work, so to say. It is a worship. It is not and it's a meditation. Like that. So that's what inspired me, and this is a wonderful cause. So that it is not just impacting one or two people; it's impacting the whole, in one sense, the next generation itself. So that was always my inspiration to work with it, with Akshay Patra. And then as time went on, later on in 2015 onwards, I got involved in the operations also of Akshay Patra. So, and now I oversee the operations pan India, where I am supported ably by my colleagues who are also presidents in various centers across India, Akshay Patra. So, so that's how my journey started, and I'm very blessed. I feel this as a blessing of Krishna on me, the seva. not just some kind of, like I said, not just charity alone. It's a meditation, it's a feeling of love for the Lord, and a big impact in the society.
It's amazing you say that, because it's so clear that there's a certain higher sense of purpose behind this whole thing. So the personal story is definitely something that inspires people. I want to, before we get into the spiritual aspect of it, and I would also want to dwell into a little more on the concept of seva. I actually wanted to talk to you a little more on the operations of it, because a project of this scale, uh, what kind of challenges you would have faced, especially when in the initial years when you were scaling up, when the demand was higher than you could supply, right? Like you said. And how did you scale it up, to reach where it has today? How the logistics of it, the operational challenges, would be great to know the nitty gritties of it.
Yeah, see, one of the things is that, as I told you, the feeding is a very intrinsic part of any temple, of any spiritual organization, uh, and so to say, the Vaishnavas, and even more in one sense, Annadanam is like a fundamental principle stated in the scriptures, Mahabharata, everywhere you see, and Manadana, Mahadana, it's called, right? So that is, we all know about it, and it is said that you feed you the benefit that you give by feeding is much more than any many of those pious activities which you can do, right? So that's ingrained in our culture. So this was already there. And see, the first challenge we came across is, see, the one is we are cooking in the temple and feeding the people coming to the temple, or somewhere where, let us say, we go to a small area where there are underprivileged section of people, so we distribute. That is one kind of feeding. But here, challenge number one was, we have to evolve a system that there is no food problems, food poisoning, or any such situation, mishap should not happen, and we should cook regularly. See, that is the thing, and it should go on day after day after day. See, every day and we should deliver by 10 o'clock in the 10:30 in the morning, because lunch is around 11. So to the schools, one is cooking hygienically, another is to cook and deliver properly with, fresh and keeping it nice, right? Those were the first challenges. So we have simple system in cooking. So then, we first thing what we did was, we innovated on how to cook. There was, one is to cook for a simple, just for 10 people, 50 people, 60 people, is cooking is one way. Now this 1,500 was the first trial which we did, first feeding. So at that time itself, that we could somehow manage. Then we saw this, oh, this 1 lakh children are required. So then we were like, oh, how do we make logistically? How do we do it? So then we thought of rice cauldrons. That's where the cauldrons are, which are very big. It's like but nothing but your pressure cooker, so to say, and a bigger scale. So that was the first innovation in one sense we did. And there the steam is used. Steam is a very good medium for heating. So, and also it is very clean and very this, and we use the different kind of boilers which generate steam. So that was the first thing which we did as innovation in feeding in the south. So in south, it's a, as you know, rice-based menu is the general preferred eating style of south. So that's why first was rice, and then a sambar, to ensure sambar or a dal or a sabji, that kind of thing, and curds. That's how we started feeding. So the first challenge was to make a proper system. So what we thought is, we have cauldrons which can cook in just 15 minutes for 1,500 students. A cauldron, which rice it can cook for that many people. So we set up, instead of having one cauldron, we set up a chain of some 10 cauldrons, which can cook one shot. You see, the 15,000 students feeding is done just in 15 minutes. So that is the thing. So if you cook too early, the food will not be hot, right? So we have to cook from just around 7, 6:37 onwards, then we should have it delivered. So that was one challenge which we faced, and which we overcame by innovation. So by a simple rice cauldron method. That was one. And next, see, we were started feeding here now in south. Then we got a request to start feeding in Jaipur first, then Mathura. Like that, we got many requests in different north states also. So there they prefer a roti-based machine, roti-based menu. That's their staple diet. So when we went there, that was a challenge for us. In south they don't like rotis and that much, right? They prefer rice. So when we went there, see, one major challenge, like I said, is we should fit to the palate of the local. See, just thought I'm doing another now. Okay, I do something whatever I want. No, I should get to the palate of the child who is eating, because that's where I want my impact to touch, right? So that was a thing which we were considering. So at the time, see, roti machine you can do by hand, have a lot of people doing it. That was one first thing what we did in Jaipur. In Jaipur, we had a lot of ladies who cook and hand roll it, and we had a whole production line. They would sit and come and do the that mixing of the uh, atta and all this. So that's how we were doing. So then we thought of, see, this we cannot scale it up to a big number. So then there was a special what you call a papad machine which was there, which people used to use in production in Jalandhar and many places in North. They were using it. So we thought, why not use this machine to make a roti machine? So we involved a roti machine which has got basically it automatically semi-automated, not fully automatic, it's semi-automated, where you add the wheat and the water and a little bit ingredients what you have to make the dough. So and that dough goes through a hopper, goes through whole rollers, gets flattened like a bread fabric. So that kind of an innovation was done, and that we have evolved that roti machine now, which can cook 40,000 rotis per hour. So imagine 40,000 one shot in a 1 hour we can cook. So this was a thing. So that what gave us the capacity to scale these operations. One is to do at a small scale we can do, and at a larger scale. So this innovations is what supported to face our challenges. And this is a technologically we always are improving. See, now we are working with improving how to reduce the fuel cost. uh, so why not have better fuels? We are using briquette boilers, which generate the steam for cooking rice and dal, all these items, so that we save costs. Now we are looking even at gas-based cauldrons now for rice, so that even the taste is much better than just. And we're looking at double jacketed cauldrons of rice. Like this, we are always innovating. So this innovation is the only way to overcome challenge. And innovation nowadays in modern world, there's enough technologies available. Only that we have to apply our mind and work at the logistics and the this thing. And the Lord of ultimately, as we all know, He's only driving everything. That intelligence to do, you see, is coming from Him. It is not us. You see, we tend to think because I think I'm this body, so we tend I did it. So no, actually, the Lord is sitting in the heart and He's giving the direction. See, we don't recognize where the direction comes from, right? We tend to think I did it. No, the direction actually is coming from the Paramatma sitting in our hearts. He is telling, okay, this you want. It's a question of how seriously you're desiring to serve, and he opens up these channels. So at one point now we have a host of equipments which ensure that we can deliver nutritious, hygienic, cleanly prepared with virtually no food poisoning or any other case issues happening. So we also have a tech quality control. All this we have kept into system. Whatever is there in any food production manufacturing units, we try to incorporate those also. That way, all this is like an orchestra for the seva of the Lord.
Uh, so you mentioned about tech and quality control, and I wanted to, on a side note, address the elephant in the room. A few years ago, the controversy that happened with regards to the satvik food, which was like covered in a lot of sections of the media, right? Essentially, because this is my remembrance of it, because of onion and garlic based vegetarian sattvic food being served. Uh, what was the take of the institution's official line on this? And I know, of course, this was a bogeyman that was unnecessarily raised, but I would still want to know, what was your take, and were there any learnings from that in the institution thought in terms of how we should, moving on from there, was there anything that changed after that?
See, it's like this. One is the essence of this midday meal program that is going on and feeding the schools. Let us look at the essence. Let us not forget that essence. Essence has always been that the child should be fed and he should get a nutritious, tasty meal. And we cannot be going by the bias of our own tastes and ideas, right? So sometimes those come into in the policies, in the people who want to use that, and they're biased, and they say no, this not the meals are not nutritious. That is a misnomer, total misnomer. uh, the essence is that we have to deliver a highly high quality nutritious meal, and as per the government norms also is there. See, just like you see, every child should get nutrition, right? So hunger, when you know that when you're hungry, then you need to malnutrition. Malnutrition leads to so many other problems. That problem has to be solved, right? So not this taste alone. I have some idea of taste. That way, everybody will have multiple choices of taste. That will always be there. So that is each person's liking. We cannot comment on that aspect, but we can do this essence of what is required, right? And we have done that. Every school meal, as per the government, one third of whatever the child is supposed to eat, this is one of the meals, right? One third of his nutritional requirements should be met by this meal. That is the essence. So, in that essence, the government has said that you should give, for a child from first to seventh, 100 grams of rice you should use, and you should give 12 grams of protein and 450 calories of food. So that is the, if you could take it to the nutritional aspect of it, our meal crosses that already. Our mixture of recipes, we have done a lot of work on that. That we have not just done. ऐसे कुछ another ऐसे कुछ rice खिला दिया ऐसे नहीं हम वैसे नहीं कर रहे. We are thinking, okay, the nutrition should meet. The recipe also is tailor made. In fact, we also work backwards. Sometimes the cost of some of the vegetables become very high. Still, we work such that we get vegetables which are cheaper but which are also nutritious. So we are making the, and spice mix are there, and the rest spice of course is the one that gives the taste, right? So we ensure that we get a good spice. Many of the places we only grind our own spices for all these kitchens. So we ensure that the taste is good and nutrition. If these are met, why are you putting your bias into all these systems? That is our first question to the people who raised this itself. Like you said, it's a bogeyman. They're raising this question simply, unnecessarily. So, and what we told everybody who raised is, sir, we will deliver you the meal to you week after week. You taste it. If it's not tasty, we'll take it back. So this is a challenge we are giving to anybody. And you also challenge, okay, is it meeting the nutrition? So why are you raising a issue of a non-issue and trying to make it a thing? Basically, it's some bias that is there in many people's mind. I think they should little bit wake up and come out of their biases and see what it is for, right? And there are other challenges you see. If you have this onion, garlic, and there are other, as its own issues in its cooking, it actually has challenge. It adds to challenges of quality and life, long shelf life. There are many more challenges which come because of using onion and garlic, and many other issues are there. So, but that is not actually, it's actually a very side point which is being simply amplified and were done. But largely now that is now died down, because see, our work speaks for itself. Children are being fed every day. Children are very happy, and they are telling, in fact, they say, our tastiest meal I've had. And there are children who are from other kinds of ethnic backgrounds who are sharing the meal. They are also appreciating. We serve in madrasas our meals. They are also appreciating. They, in fact, they say, no, no, we only want Akshaya Patra meal. Sometimes, they are demanding. So now, in the meanwhile, somebody simply coming in between with some other interest in mind. It's not a right. I think it's better we don't get delve into that controversy itself too much in our mindset. That is our thing. We do our good work, right? And the children are fed. Ensure that they come to school because of this food. They are nourished well. They are educated well. That is our focus. Our focus is, controversy will always keep coming. Challenges will keep coming. uh, we'll take it in our stride. That is one of the learnings which we had. We should take whatever, even good works will have challenges. Opposition will come. So we should stand up and fight wherever it required, and be firm about our convictions and go on. You see, and if our work is good, why should we be? Why we not be apologetic, right?
I mean, actually, on a side note, I think, I mean, at least personally speaking, I got to know about Akshay Patra after that only. And I think many people got to know about the positive work you're doing after that incident. So, I mean, I hope that at least in that limited extent, it helped so that more people would also kind of know that such activities are happening in this country, and people will reach out, actively to you like they have in the past.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you, because local farmers, like, who produce different crops, is there anything, any initiative that Akshay Patra takes to source from from the point of view of sourcing? What practices you follow, and how do you ensure that good quality food is sourced from directly from the? Is there a, supply chain, or is it directly procured from the farmers?
See, there we also we I see first is that our quality is the, like I said, utmost. You also know that when we cook for something for the Lord, we should cook the best, clean, right? That is anyway there in the temples. So that spirit is taken here also in the Akshay Patra, but on a larger scale. So for that to ensure, we have to have process system. So first thing is that the quality of every raw material that is procured is first checked. There is a system itself. We have a food lab which checks each of the raw materials quality itself. Time to time, there's a upgradation. We have a standard. Okay, this should be like this. Dal means like this. This should be like this. We have a proper what we call a kind of a book for us. Also to say a blue book or a whatever you can call it. That is as a reference is there from the quality. A manual is there. That is checked always. Anything that is taken. So that is one thing which we ensure. That's what ensures that there is no food at the seed itself. There's no food mishaps, and the storing also is properly kept. And there is a first in, first out. It's called first stock that comes that is used first. And there's a whole system to ensure that that happens. And this is the process part of it. Now, coming to procurement, yes, we are also procuring partly from farmers, partly from other, vendors also. Both it's happening. But I'm happy to state that you see, most of the vegetables are from the farmers, directly from the farmers. No middlemen in between. Directly we go and procure from farmers. So I have some figures. Let me just look at it. So about in for the south only, I have some figures. The Bangalore cluster, Bangalore, Mysore, Bellary, all these clusters, we daily usage of vegetables is 15 to 18 tons. So out of that 15 to 18 tons, we procure 8 to 10 tons from farmers daily. I'm speaking of. And you see, one more interesting thing is that those farmers' children are also beneficiaries of our meals in the schools. They come and have meals in our schools. So because many of the other semi-rural areas just at the border of the city and all, so they all are enjoying these meals. So in one sense, the farmers themselves we buy from, and their children also are getting. It's like community. It's like always said. No, we are just a, in one sense, seva aggregator. We are aggregating goodwill of so many people in the society, and they also give us. They see the farmers also see. They also feel, okay. We don't want to take huge profits. We want to give you, because you're doing for Akshay Patra. There is a mood of that also. They also see in that mood. So goodwill is there, and the farmer also regularly there is a whole supply from the farmers, and we wish to get everything from the farmers, but at this point may not be practical. I would say about 60% of our procurement is done through the farmers only. But still, we ensure the quality. We tell them, we work with them and ensure that, please ensure the quality is there because it's going to the child and it is to be the best. So they also are very mindful of that, and that way it's a working together with the farmers, with the community, and for the community that way.
Uh, so, in terms of the programs and initiatives, is there any specific programs you have undertaken of your own as well, apart from engaging with different governments? And are there any awards or recognitions that you have won for the service that you've done for so many years? Would like to know a little more.
Yeah. See that. See, our one of the main things, of course, is our real reward is the smile on the child, and he is seeing and he's getting the meals, and that is our real reward. And the other aspect of the recognition from the people, one of the first milestone we had was that in 2012 we served total of accumulative of see, we started, like I said, with 5 schools, 1,500 students in year 2000 in just Bangalore. Now we are serving in 15 states and 2 union territories, total of about over 21,000 schools, 20,100 schools, and about 21 lakh children every day going on in 71 locations across India. So we have grown to this big. So that is like a, that's a major reward. God has blessed us to expand our service so many places. So first in the cumulative, we have served 1 billion meals as on 2020 to 2012. 2012 we did it. Next, in just 4 years, we touched 2 billion meals, and we had the then, of course, the then president and late Pranam Mukherjee ji, in that occasion of commemorating that 2 billionth meal. We also had in 2019 in Vrindavan, we had the commemoration of 3 billionth meal. For that, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Modi ji, had come and he personally served the 3 billionth meal. So that is like a big reward for us that he himself personally came and he has been aware of our work, and in fact he has appreciated the public private as a our Akshay Patra as a public private partnership, example to be emulated everywhere. That is what Modi ji himself has said. We are very grateful for his support. That is one major reward for us that our own Prime Minister has been. And in fact, as a Chief Minister, when he was in Gujarat, he started our first kitchens in Ahmedabad and those Gandhinagar. So he was very much part of it. He was also there and he was aware of our seva, and he's been our very ardent well-wisher and supporter also. And recently, in his own constituency, that is Varanasi, we started a kitchen, and we are now serving about 50,000 children in Varanasi now. 50,000 children, and so we are doing in a special block called Sivapuri. So that is also like our like that. This is there. So these are some of the general things on this, but other awards I would like to mention about. So our chairman Madhu Pandit Dasaji has been given the Padma Shri award for this seva. In year 2016, he was given that award. We have won Microsoft Tech Award for innovations for social sector in year 2009 or 10, I think. Yeah, and we also have won the South Asian Safety Award. So many awards which are related to the production and how manufacturing units, how they are maintained, and for those also we have won many awards. And we also had the Nikki Asia Award from the Bank of Tokyo from Japan, honored us with that award. And like this, many more awards have come. We were given the Rajyotsava Award very early in our state, in where we started in Karnataka. Like this, people have appreciated our work, and in fact, we also had if you see India Today did a survey on, they were doing an award for various things, happiness awards they were calling it, and in our social sector, the general juries voted as the we did a wonderful seva like that, best happiness, giving it through a morsel of food, we are giving happiness to people. So that India Today also gave once an award like that. So everybody has been appreciating us, and this support is what actually helps us to go on. See, like you were saying, what is the challenge? The challenge is twofold. One is, of course, the operation bit of it. That is at one level is in our control. We can solve it. The other aspect of it is, we are raising, like I said, now we are feeding 21 lakh children every day. So from this, it's a partnership with the government, various state governments and the central government, and we are like a very proud partner of the government. So the government gives us grains and a cash grant, and our meal cost is roughly about 14 rupees, 13 to 14 rupees, adjusting a national average. As per this location, it may change a little bit based on the raw materials and other aspects. I'm just giving a national average of about 13 to 14 rupees. The government's cash grant and the we works out to be about 7.5, 8, like that. So the balance 5 to 6 rupees we have to raise. So that's one major challenge for us. That's what holds us back to expand. We would want this everywhere, but that's a challenge which we face to boldly take up. Okay, next one more place. So we would want to, but without that being there, you see, we don't want to stop what we started once. That is one of our commitments. So we don't want to like stop anytime. So because of that, this is a big challenge for us. So more people should know about these activities. It's good that we are talking to you. So through your channel, so many people should know about these activities and join hands whatever way they can. So that is our main thing. That it's a reward for us that every one of us work together, and these recognitions are in one sense a bonus. The main thing is all of us are working together for the one major goal, and like I said, smile of the child. That is our goal.
Absolutely. You mentioned about the cost being 7-8 rupees and the balance having to be raised, privately. So, do you have any collaborations or partnerships with people in the industry? Like, is there any other organization also with whom you work in collaboration for, this or anything like that? Has there been any partnerships of the kind
Yes,
to bridge that gap?
yes, of course. See, without steady contributions from the donors, it would be impractical to run a program like this. Till date, we have never had a situation of cash problems. We are also not thinking. In once first time, I even remember now, Madhu Pandit Prabhu, our chairman, was discussing once, and one of the very initial stages, they said, "How many will you feed?" So he said, 30,000 children. And he went back and then he realized, oh, where am I going to get money? And all night he didn't get a sleep. So then he came back and then he was sitting in front of the deities in the of Radha Krishna in our temple. Then he said, Radha, and he felt Radhani's message coming to him. I am the mother of all the children and the Jagan Matas. I will take care, don't worry. So that was like the assurance. So in that sense, these are all partners have been sent by the Lord for us to work with. So one of the first ones were our Infosys Foundation, to Mrs. Sudhamurthy and Narayan Murthy. They have been our very strong supporters, and we have through their support we established a kitchen in Hubli. And during the COVID time, I would like to quote specifically that how Mr. Narayan Murthy himself, through his funds, funded about 10 crore rupees to distribute free rations all over India. We distribute through his support. Like him, many other donors are there. Cisco is there with us. Then there is, of course, the PSUs like Airport Authority of India. There is GAIL. All these people also are partnering with us. So in that sense, this is, you see, a lot of, it's like a whole society is contributing to this whole endeavor. And of course, the major contributor is the government of and the state government and the central governments. So if you see that way, I'm saying 60% of the funding comes from the state and the central government only coming from that. That they are the biggest partners for us, and they've been with us and they've been appreciating our work. They we also going shoulder to shoulder with them. It's their mission of the government to ensure there is children are fed, right, and especially these underprivileged children who are studying in the government schools. So that way, they are the biggest partners for us. All these are also there, and in fact, we also have individuals also contributing. This is one of the big institutions, and there also corporates also are there. It makes up that, but I would say even about 30% is coming from individuals also. Our overall funding coming, corporates are there, and about 20-30% comes from the individuals who are contributing. Roughly, like I said, we are feeding 220 days, so 6 rupees we take. It's about 1,500 rupees per year for one child. So we are getting sponsors from individuals also. Like many people who are salaried people, they take up, okay, on my birthday, you sponsor 10 children, like as per their capacity, different people give. So that's how this whole support is there. It's a from the from the bottom to the, yeah, everybody's helping to the government, individual to the government to the corporates. And we are just, like I said, the coordinator for all this, and getting everybody together for they want to do it, and we are just a medium for that.
Okay, so finally, what are the future plans for Akshay Patra? What are the other objectives that you have that you want to accomplish going forward, 1 year, 5 year, 10 years down the line?
See, now first is that Akshay Patra, see, it has had a very major impact since it's been now 23 years since we started serving. We have been able to see impact because it's been such a long term. That's why the impact is we can see in profound manner. So that impact uh, is, I can tell you two, three instances of that. One instance is one boy who was studying in near of Bangalore kitchen, only first kitchen in the Rajajinagar, which we have built. So his name is Hemant. He was doing his high school in a government school, and there, and then we were feeding them. I think the name of that school is forget. He was like, he was very happy. We just recently had come to our kitchen, our office here in Bangalore, and so Sondenhalli, it's called a government school in that. It's a semi-rural area nearby. So there it was. He was having the meals, and now see he passed out of CA, and he has now got a job in Deloitte. Uh, so as a CA, as a this one. So it's like you see, and in fact, he now remembers that tasty sambar I used to eat in your school, in my school, and he is now saying that I'll support the children in that school now. Also like that. So this is the impact that's happening. So we want this impact to spread more now. We want this impact to sustain because see we have done for a long time. That's why this impact is, you can see visible impact is there. And our plan now is for the future, by 2025 currently we are feeding 2.1 million, that is 21 lakh children. We want to touch 3 million children by 2025. In this, that is our main, one of the numeric, so to say, and we want to improve our impact further. We also now have started on all women kitchen in Barshana, in Vrindavan, that is Mathura. There is a place where Radharani's place was there. She used to stay there, and that's called Barshana. So in that village, in a village called Ajnok, we are started a kitchen which is only run by women. So we want to engage more with the community now, with the use the local women for cooking, and that way they come and feed their own. Many of their own children will be studying in the schools. That way they'll be cooking, right? So we want to, make this not just it's not just a meal factory. It is a, I would say, it's a community factory in one sense, meal factory. It's a community which is getting benefited by this whole factory with a heart, so to, yeah, you can call it, right? So it is that. So we want to percolate that more further, nourish the dreams of all these children. Some of them want to become doctors. Like this boy wanted to be at CA, so he did his BCom, and he was very this thing. In fact, I have another girl, Prema, her name also. She was studying in a nearby school in our from our Rajajanagar kitchen. So there, she is now passed out. We got her a scholarship, and she did her. She's now working with the London Stock Exchange. Uh, like this, we want to nourish these dreams. That is our goal, and like 3 million meals, and we wish to now go to Jammu. We wish to go to some more of the northern states. In south we are there, and we wish to establish more further. We're looking at some other locations, maybe if it can happen in northeast also. Some more locations are supposed to be we are currently already feeding in Guwahati and Jorhat with the partnership of Himanta ji, CM. He himself has said that we will sponsor the kitchens, establishing kitchens. See, to establish a kitchen which feeds 1 lakh, current volumes, we need about 25 crores, including the equipments. Because you see, in 4 hours to deliver the food, cook that much for that much volume. So we need that.
So this is the fixed cost you're saying. This is the fixed cost.
Yes, that the capex that we need, and that also, in fact, that is being given by the government of Assam. They are saying that, and government of UP already is also giving for another 4 kitchens which are in the pipeline. So we will touch the 3 million mark and spread this, impact to more societies, more in India. So, and that is our goal. And hopefully, we are praying to the Lord to give us the strength and go on with this mission, and more people will participate, will join hands. That is our, goal for the future.
Great. Thank you so much, Bharat Dasa ji, for coming on the show. With that, we come to the end of today's show. It's been a very enlightening experience for me to know about, this concept of seva happening, in society. And I really, really hope from the bottom of my heart that Akshay Patra grows from strength to strength, and even more children who are not there right now, even they get to eat this sumptuous satvik food. So it's really an honor for me to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Vineet. Thank you. I'm also be happy to have joined you. We would request you to also to visit one of the kitchens from wherever you are, and it will be great to have you sometime in our kitchens and serves to some of the children also.
Absolutely, we'll definitely do that. Thank you so much. Everyone, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'll see you around.
Thank you very much.